From Idaho's News Channel 7, this is Friday Night Football.
You know, last couple of weeks I've missed out on the fun, out of town with the Boys State football team covering those games, but I'm back for Friday Night Football, and so is Brady.
We've missed you.
Have you?
A little bit. Not
too much, though?
We weren't devastated, but it's nice to have you back.
Well, on that note,
take the compliment.
I will. On that note, did you know that Brady has never used a lawnmower in his life?
I don't think that's that big of a deal. We didn't have lawns in Southern California.
I still think it's funny. The good news is Brady's super good at shooting high school football. We got highlights on the way. And check this out. We begin with our KTVB Friday Night Football Game of the Week as voted upon by you, the fans, at KTVB.com. Eagle hosting Hawaii, the Storm. They have already won more games this year than they did all of last year. Meanwhile, the Mustangs, man, they have had a daunting schedule to open up the season, looking to climb back to 500 this fall. Carter Davis coming off the edge, halts this Hawaii drive. On to the second quarter we go. The Mustangs finally start to find a little bit of momentum. Giddy up on offense. Jake Longson hits Deegan Marino on the screen. Deegan is one talented kid. He would limp off the field after this play. Saw him on the sideline. He also had a significant injury last year, bud. I hope you are okay. We're thinking about you. Later on that same drive, Longson spots Ian Duarte, who darts into the end zone. Check this out, Brady. He hits the edge and just kind of runs over a defender, finding his way for 6. Eagle ends up rolling in this one as they finally find some offense in the second half. They win 27-7.
That's an incredible last effort on that run. He looked short. He looked like he was going to be short.
So fast, but proving he's also tough right there.
Well, the Mavericks looking to build off their first win of the season last week. They were beating Bora 23-0 at halftime, but Bora new energy in the second half. Corbin McCartney hits Trace Freeman. He gets all the way up to midfield before they finally bring him down, and Bora's back in business. This drive ends the way a lot of Bora drives end. A handoff to Parker Rushton. He puts the Lions on the board, 23-7 Mountain View in the early third quarter. But the Mavericks, they were very quick to find an answer in this one. Take a look at this return from Donovan Atwood. He breaks a tackle right off the catch, and he shows off a lot of elusivity. Great work in open space, and he gets them some momentum. Later on in the red zone, Dawson Wall pitches it to Justin McGee. The junior has made a lot of plays so far this season. No trouble finding a hole on the outside on that one. Stretches out that lead with another touchdown. So Bora, the clock is ticking as we head towards the fourth quarter. They look to respond. A lot of pressure on the quarterback. They get the throw off. Mountain View just gets there first. That's Wyatt Farnsworth pulling down the interception. Nice return to go with it. It would put a lid on this one. Mountain View grabs another win, this time 37-7 over Bora, and proving, even after some tough tests early on this year, still one of the top teams in the SIC.
Yeah, Mountain View, I mentioned it about Eagle. Mountain View's also had a really tough slate, opening up with Meridian, and then they get Rocky Mountain. It literally doesn't get tougher than that in the state of Idaho. Well,
when you start out with those hard games, I think it's beneficial. You find out who you are, you find out all of your weaknesses really quickly, and you got a lot to build on, when it matters in November.
Yeah, a big stretch of football for them. Obviously finding their rhythm because Bora, they got some players, man. Beating them 30-7, that's an impressive win in my book.
I think so too.
Yeah. All right, moving along. Up next, I figured out why you didn't want to go to Nampa, Brady.
I love going to Nampa.
No, but I figured out why you didn't want to go to this specific game. They have a grass field, natural surface.
Did they ask you to mow the lawn?
And just in case somebody needed to mow the lawn, you wouldn't have known how to operate the lawnmower. Good thing Daniel Carrillo knows how to make plays out of the backfield. He puts the Bulldogs up 7-0. The Caveman march right back. That was Gus Austin walking into the end zone. On the Caveman's next possession, though, it's the defense that comes up for the Bulldogs. Ethan Kitchelow capitalizes here. He goes 40 yards into the end zone. Nampa goes up 14. The Cavemen would continue to fight back. They march back down the field. That's Brady Bowen that barrels into the end zone. But in the end, Nampa pulls away. They improved to 3-1 on the season, winning 45-23. Nampa bumping up to the 5A classification and proving that they can hang, Brady.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a great way to start your first year at the 5A level.
Once upon a time, Nampa struggled a little bit at football. Their previous head coach that was there did a great job. They got a new head coach this year who used to be at the College of Idaho, and looking good so far. Very impressive.
They have a great senior class. Talking to their new coach, he said that that's one of the things that made him want to come back, is the brotherhood and chemistry they already have, and obviously it's paying off.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on to the next game.
Well, let's head over to Donald Larson Park. Yeah, they don't have grass there, so
Hey, I will say,
I was comfortable.
Real quick, I get that. Capitals unis, better or worse than Mountain View's tonight? I like that get up, man.
I always like Capitals jerseys. I got to give it to Mountain View.
Okay.
But right there, let's take a look at Banks Hipwell. Great interception right off the bat to start the second quarter. Eagle had a 3-0 lead, but Centennial taking no time, wasting no time to get right back in it. Look at this pass right here. Dawson Ozuna getting the ball to Jacob Carney. He has a step on his defenders, takes that one the distance, and flips the lead around early on in the second quarter. They didn't stop there. How about a blocked punt? Brad Austin Ames catches it. He's able to even put a little bit of a return together. He gets past midfield. Once again, some great field position to go to work. Back in the red zone, this time Ozuna finds Ames. He's the man who caught the blocked punt. This time he catches it for the touchdown. Patriots were leading 14-3 at that point. Only about 2 minutes left in the half, so the Eagles wasting no time. Jordan Peterson lets it fly. Brody Call goes up and gets it. Capital would light up the scoreboard in the second half. It looked like it was Centennial's game, but Capital goes on to win it 39-14. Finally breaking into the win column.
Capital kind of mowed over Centennial there, huh?
Nice. Yeah, we're going to hang on this. Are we going to do it all season or just tonight?
As long as we can.
All right. Told you that in confidence.
Don't tell me anything in confidence, Brady.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Hey, same field, different opponents. Last night, Thursday Night Football at Donald Larson Park, Meridian showed why they are one of the best teams in the state. Hey, in my opinion, they are the cream of the crop. Already up 7-0, Zeke Martinez connects with Corbin Freeze, stepping into a big role as a senior. He outraces the defense to the end zone. That made it 14-0. Going the other way, hey, Nathan Reynolds deservingly gets a ton of attention for this Warrior defense, but Max William is having an unreal start to the season so far. Here he forces the fumble. Jacob Hartsoe here recovers it. We're going the other way. Now, Brady, you're going to notice that these highlights go from daylight to dark in a hurry.
And why is that, Jay?
Because there was a 2-hour lightning delay. Wasn't convenient for me or for Timberline for that matter. They come back out onto the field. Nathan Reynolds gets the interception. And after that, Marco Del Rio outrumbles his way into the end zone here, fighting through would-be tacklers. I say would-be tacklers. Meridian, 56-6 over Timberline. Are they the best team in the state?
I don't know, but I can tell you that Meridian and Rocky Mountain matchup is going to be a showstopper.
Do you know when that is? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
I have not been studying the entire SIC schedule, but I will tonight. So next Friday, when you ask me, I'll be ready to go.
Study that and the lawnmower manual, just in case.
My new apartment doesn't have a lawn either, man. I'll wait till I can, put it to use.
Then it's going to be too late.
The reason this came up is I asked Jay if he needed help with anything, and he said, yeah, go to my house and mow my lawn.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The rookie hazing is just brutal at KTVB.
All right, well, on to the next highlights to save face a little bit here. Valley View traveling over to Columbia. Well, Valley View's quarterback getting after it. How about this throw from Isaac Moore to Koa Maioa? He takes it all the way down to the 20-yard line. A few plays later, Moore with, more offense. This time, he targets Brock Wilson, who makes a nice little play and puts the Falcons up 30-0. There was more where that would come from. They go for the two, maybe the bright spot of the night for Columbia. By the way, shout out to Just Jackson and Shane Williams-Rhodes, two former guys connected to the Boise State program, doing their best to help Columbia. It didn't work out for them here. Well, it did here because they stopped the two-point conversion. Both those guys defensive guys now, for that matter. So we'll give them credit. But back comes Valley View a little later on. More to Tyson Fox for yet another touchdown. That made it 36-0. Valley View would go on to roll 38-6 the final. Shout out T for getting us some awesome highlights from this game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's head over to Caldwell. You can see the Caldwell student section going crazy for this one as they hosted Buell. We'll jump into the action at the first quarter. Quarterback Zaylor Brugman hands the ball off to Michael Pickens. Gain of a few yards, and that would be enough for the first down. We'll take things off in the next play. Brugman this time going through the air, throws to Trey Walker. He catches that one with some separation, runs in for the touchdown, and it is a 6-0 lead for Caldwell. Well, Buell's quarterback Cameron Gorel is going to hand the ball off to Jace Bower. He takes this one all the way to the 10-yard line, and eventually the play stalling out on that one. Buell able to get it done tonight, though. 49-14 over Caldwell. Big win for them.
All right, up next, how about Weiser and Coal Valley Christian battling it out over at Owyhee High School. Both of these teams entered the game undefeated. Only the Wolverines would leave that way. In the third, I get up right close to the action. That's Andrew Enders, who turns a 3rd and long into 4th and manageable. On that same drive, he tosses it out to Jade Walker, who takes it down inside the 10-yard line. From there, Cash Cobb cashing in for 6. That made it 49-0 midway through the third. And how about this, Brady? Cobb, hey, he can do it all. I bet you he knows how to use a lawnmower because scoring touchdowns, making tackles. Weiser dominant in just about everything you possibly could do. They also scored a special teams touchdown. 49-zip. They improved to 4-0 on the season.
Very impressive. Well, let's head over to, what are we looking at?
We got Salmon River Notice.
Salmon River, the house that Leighton Vander Esch built.
Hey,
You know, I know.
I mean, they're on the road, but
That's
yes.
true. Yeah. Well, first possession, Benny Guerra to the pass, hits Carter Woodland on a crossing route, breaking a tackle. Look at this effort to pick up a little bit more. He would take this one all the way for the touchdown. The Pirates go for 2. We'll show you that right here as Guevara hits Tyler Stevens in the end zone. Well, next drive, Salmon River ball. Quarterback Gabe Zavala hands the ball off to Tyrus Swift. I think we're looking at that. We're looking at that right here as they even things up. Getting the first down, but unable to do much more. 5 minutes, 43 seconds left in the first quarter. Pirate ball once again. We'll show you that coming up right here. I like these establishing shots.
As we wait this out, I want you to just take a look at Salmon River's uniforms, okay? I'm going to get back to those in a moment. Pick up the highlights, Brady.
This time, Grayson Benitez taking it for the second Pirate touchdown. Carter Woodland runs it in for the 2-point conversion. The Pirates would go up 16-0, but Notice would be the one to take this one all the way, 61-14.
All right, this is the 3rd time I've talked about uniforms tonight, and I don't even care. These uniforms, you'll notice, they actually kind of mimic what Boise State wears.
Is that on purpose?
That is on purpose. Yeah. Mr. Leighton Vander Esch had worked into his Nike contract that he would get uniforms for his high school, his alma mater.
I did not know that.
Isn't that pretty cool?
That is extremely cool.
The chevrons, or whatever you want to call them, on the shoulders, they kind of, again, that's what Boise State has, different color, but same diff, you know. So, yeah, that's kind of a cool little fun fact.
You ever seen his high school stats? His senior year is ridiculous. He played quarterback as well.
Yeah.
And he had like 60 total touchdowns between rushing, passing, special teams, defense.
He basically he was like the only guy that ran the football.
Incredible.
It was. I remember watching a game over at Eagle High School. I can't remember if it was the state championship or the state semifinals, but his dad was the coach. He could barely walk off the field. Dad, hey, he raised a tough boy though, so Dad kept sending him out there, and Leighton proved how tough he is. Hey, really quick, Danny, our wonderful producer, knows how to use a lawnmower.
That's great.
And knows how to use the schedule, at least, looking it up. The game between Meridian and Rocky Mountain, October 7th at Meridian.
That's going to be a big one.
That game's going to be epic.
That might be game of the year, right? Is it too quick to call that to be the game of the year?
I don't know of a more important game, Brady. Yeah. That game, big time.
Glad we get to wait a little bit for it, too, see how things play out.
Well,
exactly.
Build some hype. You're definitely, that's still a couple weeks away, one of the final weeks of the regular season, so there could be a lot riding on that game. You know what's also awesome? Been a long day. My phone literally just died. Danny was texting me scores, and now I can't read them.
Oh.
So Emmett, 34. Skyview, 24. Skyview, I believe, still looking for their first win of the season. I do believe a nice win for Emmett. Skyview, they've had a difficult early schedule, but still looking for their first win as they dip back down to the 4A level. Yeah. So, what was that, Danny? Okay, that's it for now. The good news is that Zach Armstrong is populating all these final scores, all these highlights at KTVB.com. So if you missed any of this stuff, make sure you jump over there. You can rewatch and all that fun stuff. So should be good. I will say, I mean, Owyhee Eagle, kind of the premier game of the week, was a little interesting or weird. It feels weird. I don't know if I like the midseason bye. I mean, I'm being selfish because I just like more highlights. Yeah. It feels weird not having like Rocky Mountain in the show tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I don't know. Just me.
You get to focus on teams a little more, make things go a little deeper into it. But
that's true.
I like a quantity,
Yeah.
when it comes to this sort of thing.
Brady, you're new to the Treasure Valley.
Yeah.
What has stood out to you so far about high school football in the area?
Coming from Lewiston, the biggest difference, I would say the size of the crowds and the energy that they bring. The 12th man is really a factor in all of these schools. And you see the student sections. There's always a theme. They always have signs.
Yeah.
And they're always into it, no matter if their team's up by 40, down by 40, or on 4th and goal for the game. It's nice to see.
I thought you covered a lot of 8-man football, so I just thought you were going to say you noticed 6 more individuals on the field at any given time.
Hey, we got some 8-man football.
We did get some 8-man football. 8-man football is fun. Hey, it really is. And up in Lewiston, back in the day, eons ago, I worked up there, and 8-man football is a lot of fun to cover. Especially up in that area, the White Pine League they take a lot of pride in football.
The SEC of 8-man football. That's kind of what they refer to the White Pine League.
That's what we say. It's got a cool little energy up there. Well, again, a great evening throughout the Treasure Valley. We're still holding on to summer. As hard is for dear life, for that matter. Temperature's starting to dip a little bit.
Yeah, you can tell it's not going to be flip-flop weather much longer for you.
Bummed. We'll put on long pants and shoes eventually here.
Yeah.
But either way, week 4 of Friday Night Football, a fun one. Again, just to remind you, we got an awesome crew working here. Danny, as well as Zach, populating our final scores and highlights at KTVB.com. So make sure you check out those and also our YouTube page, because we have highlights uploaded there as well. All right, for Brady Frederick, I'm Jay Tust. One last reminder to watch the Bronco Roundup Game Day Show live on Channel 7 from 9 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then we will actually be live again from 1 to 2 o'clock on KTVB.com, as well as KTVB Plus, our streaming app. So should be a fun Saturday with Bronco football. Kicking off their home opener. Should be a sellout crowd, or at least near that. Should be a lot of fun. Hang out with us tomorrow for a couple hours as we get you ready for kickoff. That'll do it for us, though, for week 4 of Friday Night Football. We'll see you next week.